depends on which way you can go from the start. And if we can actually see that with the torch, it's much more viewer friendly, and off we go. Uh-oh, I think we might have to have a reset here on Big Slamoo. I think he chose medium message speed right away.
Oh no! Oh, that's not good. Losing time already to bad message speed. Oh dear, have Erdrick's token, some gold, and our obligatory key to start.
Indeed, and welcome to those of you who watched the annual Tilo Tilo versus Nest Cardinality matchup over on Randomania Prime. Welcome in. We are just now getting underway here with Blake Slamoo versus JanusZeal. I am Z-Man with Karant. And okay, so we get a little bit of Swamp. Let's see what we got. We have a Drakey.
Well, I was going to say good news is, starting with decent strength, I don't see that being too much of a problem.
Now, this Drakey should go down with minimal trouble, unless, of course, it wakes up with something like, oh, hurt or hurt more. You know, that would be a bad thing to wake up with. 3 experience. Another couple more, and Janus will get their level.
Yep, Metal Scorpion, though, not exactly what you want to say early on. Oh, or twice, for that matter.
Nope, it looks like Zone 0 is very much right around the castle. So you go up and you can wander into Zone 1 or 2 pretty quickly. So, you know, they do want to stick real close to the castle. This Drakey here will give Janus level 2. Let's see what we got. Nine, 4, 1, 8, and the spell of... Oh, geez, here we go. Zoom time. All I want to do is zoom.
Reroll!
We had an early Hurtmore in the first seed of the night, and we have an early Hurtmore here as well, and we have gold in the free stuff cave that is just to the south and west of Tangential Castle. So, you know, if there's a town nearby, that gives a slow grind, but that does give a grindable chest.
Indeed. It'll be interesting, though, to see what approach these runners take to what is at least now going to be a jet damage seed. I have a feeling we're going to be churning out level numbers really fast. Speaking of, here is level 3 for Janus, and they get 0. Okay, 0, 0, 3, and 0, but the spells of Return and Heal More. Where's Empty Eye? I was just about to say, yeah. Also, it looks like Janus took, I would presume, a death on purpose to get that HP or get the MP back, because not very far from the castle, so didn't really lose too much.
No, I think what it was, I think he got back attacked by a Wraith, I think.
That's not a fun way to spend your day.
No, not really. We do have Slamoo kind of exploring more south, and now he's gotten south and west of Tangential Castle, but magicians wake up with Hurtmore and send Slamoo back to start, where we get 0, 4, 12, 4, and a spell, Heal and Outside.
Well, these spells seem to be coming fairly fast after starting out with absolutely nothing.
Yep, but in 4 levels, our runners have gained exactly 6 strength, and only 12 MP. So those 2 stats kind of sort of lagging behind here.
Yeah, and to top off the magicians having hurt more, they have heal more too. So apparently they just came loaded for bear today.
Because of course they did.
Of course.
All right, Janus finding the free stuff cave. Of course, that is the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave, which is usually under Tangential Castle, but, you know, it's allowed to make an appearance into the light every once in a while.
Yeah, and it's not too far from the castle, so I guess it's at least going by the letter of the law, if you will.
Ooh, this is nice here for Big Slamoo. A Rogue Scorpion worth 70 experience points launches him into the experience points lead, and actually will get him, I think, 3 levels here. This will get him up to level 5, and he gets all of 1 strength out of those levels. Well, we know what the lagging stat here is going to be. It looks like we're going to lag behind in strength.
Well, yeah, I guess that C did need to balance things, didn't it? Hurt more early, strength late.
Although now they do have 3, well, at least Big Slamoo has 3 Hurtmores.
That is good. That'll help when he finds something to go after, which we've seen a few already.
Yeah. I think for now, I think our runners are going to be quite happy to see some of these, metal scorpions. We've seen a wraith. I think they're going to be happy to kind of see these mid-tier enemies just to get some experience under their belts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And especially with an early Hurtmore, yeah, you want to go after sort of the easy fodder, if you will, so that you can get those levels up, especially with the lack of strength that we've seen.
Ooh, swing and a miss on a Hurtmore for the Wraith Knight, but should get him on the second one, and will pick up the wonderful bit of experience here, which will get Big Slamoo level 6. Oh, look, 2 power. They're strong now. 2-4, 2-1, and another spell.
So it looks like if the runners wanted to, at the very least, now they could kind of concentrate their grind a little bit more by casting Repel, but the magic doesn't quite... Well, I guess it does, because they'd have 3 Hurtmores and have a little bit to spare for those Repels.
Well, Blue Dragon will send Big Slamoo back to start just after finding the Rainbow Drop Cave, aka the Jerk Cave. We call him the Jerk because if you enter the cave and talk to him without Erdrick's token, he will basically kick you out of the cave. However, since the token was in the throne room, that is really not a problem here.
And Jay Coper asking in chat what level Hurtmore was. Hurtmore was level 2.
Looks like our runners have to navigate a fair bit of swamp here really to get anywhere. So I would imagine pretty soon we're going to see these runners be like, you know what, I'm going to settle in. I'm going to grind for more HP so that I don't have to be, wasting whatever MP I have on heal spells for now. I think you're going to see them settle in, I think, shortly to grind up some experience. Speaking of which, this wolf will get Slamoo level 7. Hey, there's some power. 9282.
And it looks like the not so useful hurt spell, at least given we have Hurtmore.
Ooh, Axe Knight for JanusZeal takes the Axe Knight down in one hit, gets that sweet 130 experience.
Yeah, that'll definitely do Janus some real favors because there had been a growing XP gap between him and Slamoo, but that XP gap just narrowed real quick.
And a Rogue Scorpion sends Slamoo back. And oh, look, Scorpions wake up with Dragonlord 2 Breath. Janus is now a big lump of charcoal going back to the king.
Well, almost simultaneous deaths, rather close at least.
Slamoo sees a Drakeeman. It's like, nah, I want bigger fish.
Well, when you have such a big, powerful spell to throw at them, it's understandable.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so I think here's Janus settling down in this mountainous area here. I think this is the area where they found... I think this is where they found the Axe Knight, up in this area. I think they've got to go a little bit further north, though, to hit that zone, I think.
I will admit, as a relatively newer runner to Dragon Warrior Randomizer, I'm not overly familiar with how the zones are set out and where they have the barriers and what have you, so...
It varies in every seed.
Oh,
so
that's fun.
It varies in every seed, so there isn't a hard and fast definition to them. It's pretty much wherever the randomizer places them. So, like for this seed, it looked to me like Tantagel Castle was very close to one of the corners of the zone, because Tantagel doesn't have to be in the center of a zone. So it looked to me in this seed that Tantagel was in the corner of one of the zones, which is why if they went, I think, like 3 or 4 steps north, they were getting into that Metal Scorpion zone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so we have Janus exploring. I think this is the area where Slamu found the swamp a little south. Okay, so there is the free stuff cave, and if Janus keeps going south, they will discover the jerk cave.
Yeah, that sounds like that's the right location.
A wyvern gets Big Slamu to level 8, 2/6, 4/12. And for once, no spells.
Well, the 12 HP or MP will definitely be welcome. Motel 6 will be welcome, at least in its capacity as Motel 6.
Oh, look, Breckenary. Although it might actually be useful this time, so we'll see.
Oh, look, Breckenary!
Oh, look, Breckenary Part 2.
Yeah,
although it is really nice to have Breckenary so close to Charlotte Castle. The nice 6 gold inn, a nice place to stop off and get fairy water on the way to Charlotte Castle. Real nice place for it.
Oh, yeah, certainly. I mean, you can gear up and get ready for that big dive whenever that comes around. Of course, obviously not yet, but we will see that in the near future. Hello, another town.
Big Slamu did see a hand axe in Breckenary, but eschewed that for some chainmail and a small shield, figuring that he's got the big stick of Hurtmore. Why not beef up his defense a little bit more, which makes sense. And just south of Breckenary, we do have Hawk's Nest. So this might be really nice. If this is a Axe Knight here, this could be a really nice grind spot because it is so close to Breckenary.
Oh, yeah, this is very, very well placed. And I think Slamu was just making sure everything was in order before he went for the trap tile. And we'll see. It is a golem. Hi.
Yeah, not much anybody can do with the golem at this point in time. Can't really damage him with a Hurtmore. Certainly can't damage him with a physical attack. I mean, they'd be breaking their knuckles on stone. So, yep, that's going to wait a while.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good knowledge to have, and chat pointing out that he also ducked back out to check to see if that was a dead end, which it was. So, good knowledge all around. Just, unfortunately, you can't really do anything with that golem at this point.
Looks like Janus is getting some rather poor encounter luck. They're getting sent back to start here. Looks like they're trying to get over to Charlotte and Breckenary and just keep getting sent back to start, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that you are seeing this luck, but that's just one of the things about the randomizer that I've noticed in the time that I have played it is good luck, because those sorts of things will happen, and you just have to try to push your way through it as best as possible.
And each of our runners taking on Axe Knights, and as you can see, one Hurtmore does not take it on Janus' side, but one does take it for Big Slamu. Yay, Randomizer.
Hey, that's why we're all here, isn't it?
Alright, so Big Slamu taking down a Wraith Knight, getting level 9, 2 power, 1 agility, 11 hit points, 14 MP, and yet another new spell. So it looks like this forest zone up here that Slamu has found is an absolute treasure trove of early experience here. It looks like they've got Axe Knights in this zone, Wraith Knights in this zone. I mean, pretty much those two enemies are absolute gold this early with the Hurtmore spell.
Yeah, and I like what Slamu's doing here, which is, of course, just walking around, engaging those knights, and you have a town close by, so you can refill magic when you need to. So why not take advantage of it? Go ahead, get levels enough that you have the HP, you have the ability to walk around and explore more. So I think definitely well done on Slamu's end.
Yeah, I completely agree, and Slamu now does pick up the hand axe. So now maybe he can chip away at the golem brick by brick a little bit. Meanwhile, Janus gets to level 8, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it feels like Janus has been pushing more for the exploration and trying to emphasize that. in addition to taking down whatever enemies he can, whereas I think Slamu was focusing a bit more on getting levels in HP, and now is pushing a bit more of the exploration a smidge later.
Yeah, and Janus is exploring a region that I don't think Slamu has yet, the area to the east of Tantegel Castle. Janus has seen Sherlock, and I believe they've seen Breckenary. So now they're branching out a little bit and checking the east side of the world so far. Nothing much out here yet, though.
True, but as we've seen, I think, in seed after seed of this tournament so far, all it takes is just a little bit further, and if you happen to find something like, say, the sword or the armor or an important key item, then that can turn fortunes very quickly.
Indeed. Now, I think Janus is the one that saw that scorpions do have Dragon Lord 2 breath, so they're pushing their luck a little bit here, taking one on, but they do take care of it.
Well, they are indeed, but if you can get that first good hit in, even with the strength that we have, it is manageable.
Okay, and this area here to the east of Tantegel just keeps opening up. So it's pretty linear this way, but it does keep opening. So I'm wondering if Janus is at some point in time going to run into something.
I mean, it certainly seems so, because they are just, like you said, opening up more and more territory, and obviously that gives a greater overall chance.
And of course, I say that, then they reach the east end of the map. Whoops.
Well, I mean, we can't know everything, I suppose. Meanwhile, looks like Slamu is back at the Axe Knight grind, and of course for good reason, trying to push for that level 10, and just got it, it looks like. So 3, 2, 16, and 8, and yet another spell.
So it looks like at level 10 here, the only spell that our runners will be missing is the spell of Radiant, which, I mean, really doesn't matter since Permanent Torch is on in this seed. But if you take a look, HP is not an issue right now for really either one of our runners once they get to level 10. I mean, 94 HP at level 10 is really nice. That 36 strength, a little more concerning.
Yeah, I wonder if our runners would prefer, well, they have that orange, at least Slamu has that orange in the HP right now at level 10. I know they would probably like to have a little more strength at this point, although Hurtmore has been doing some pretty good work. Just waiting, I guess, for that big level with the jaw-dropping gains to set things going.
All right, so it looks like our runners have kind of flopped positions here. It looks like Slamu is going to explore to the east, and Janus is going to try to make their way to the west and south a little bit. I think they're making their way over toward where Breckenary and Sherlock is, I believe, right about now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It might be a little bit possibly further north from there, but fairly close, I believe.
And Janus having a little bit of an issue getting away from that stone man, but eventually gets it done with that 49 agility of theirs.
And I will say I was slightly right about Janus's relative placement. South of Sherlock, but north of Breckenary, so I was half right, I guess.
And look, Stone Man blocks Janus's way for the third time in 4 run attempts. Getting a little bit unlucky there, given how Janus's agility is 49. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it feels like Janus has been getting the wrong end of a lot of this RNG so far, and I can't say that is the full measure of why there's an XP difference between them right now, but I think it at least plays into it to some degree.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you just take a look at the death counter, which our wonderful tracker, Monsieur Slime, has been taking good care of, I mean, Janus is already up to 11 deaths as opposed to Slamu's 5. So that means Slamu has been out there able to get more experience than Janus has. So hopefully, but I mean, the experience difference is not that overwhelming yet. It's not like Big Slamu has a multiple thousand experience point lead. This is still early, still plenty of time for Janus to make up any experience differential that there is.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, good evening, Oog and company. Welcome to Randomania 2 and the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Summer Tournament. Glad y'all could join us.
JanusZeal getting up to level 9 with that nice HP and MP gain. Needs to get up to level 10 soon for yet another good HP gain. Whereas Big Slamu is quickly approaching level 11. Okay, we do have Janus here trying to take on a blue dragon. Probably thinks that they can't really run from a blue dragon, so let's at least give it a shot for 2 Hurtmores. First one lands and the second one lands, and does take down the blue dragon for the 180 experience.
Meanwhile, Slamu got 11, 6, 5, and 4 on level 11, so some more of that strength that they've been missing.
Yeah, so it does look like that these stats are starting to normalize a little bit to, more normal-ish levels. Oh, and we do have Big Slamu finding a town and a cave. And 2 caves, look at this. First, the town is Cantlin.
Alright, so it looks like we're going to get ourselves some item checks and also see if we can... have we found keys yet? I don't think we've found keys yet.
We have not yet.
Okay, so no coordinates yet, but definitely something to keep in mind for the, at least hopefully for the runners near future.
Absolutely. And we did have a large shield pickup for Big Slamu here in Cantlin. Looks like Slamu is also going to take this opportunity to stock up on herbs. I did not see if Janus... Okay, so it looks like Janus did buy a hand axe out of Breckenary, eschewing the chainmail. I also picked up a small shield.
And Ferran mentioning that we're going to be darting away from the score call, don't worry. I have no plans of stepping into anybody's sacred territory tonight.
Just for that comment, I might...
Well, you feel free to step on toes. I'm new to the community, so I wish to be careful.
All right, we do have Janus finding their way into Hawk's Nest, and will be quite disappointed to see a golem here in the spike tile.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just gonna have to have that fairy flute, or, well, probably the fairy flute will help out a lot, or at least something to hit a bit harder. So Janus wisely dashes away and decides to regroup and go elsewhere.
All right, and cave 1 here is the mountain cave. 5 chests here, 1 on the top floor and 4 on the second floor. Looks like knights roam the first floor, and that's a really nice thing to see. They go down to 1 Hurtmore, which Blake Slamu has plenty of.
They also seem to want to continuously line themselves up before him for said Hurtmores.
It's a conga line. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, no worries, Ferran. I'll simply commentate and let you guys bust each other's stones, as it were. Also, hello, Key.
Magic Key is a great find here, especially now with the spell of Outside. Slamu can check these 5 chests, cast Outside, and max out his keys in Cantlin, which is just to the north.
Yeah, that's a very good pickup to find here. I expect that Slamu is feeling pretty nice right now with that.
Nothing so far other than the magic key. Nothing. Well, the magic key was on the first floor, so I can say nothing of any importance so far here on the second floor. So, Big Slamu making his way back into Cantlin, staying at the inn, and then should probably immediately max out on keys.
Yeah, I would imagine so, and especially since you've got that door staring you right in the face. Yet goes ahead and grabs the keys. Has enough money to max them out, so no need to worry about the fact that they are, slightly inflated here.
Yeah, that's all right. He's got the gold to waste on inflated key prices. Going to check out the second shop here to discover. Full plate is nice. Doesn't have the gold for it, but full plate does offer maximum defense. Outside of Erdrick's armor, of course. And maybe there's a silver shield here? Maybe? Question mark? No, magic armor though. Janus going back to Brecconary to pick up a chainmail. And we're going to get a coordinates check here from Slamu. "16 south, 27 east, certainly countable." And I thought Slamu might death warp, but I'm pretty sure Slamu wants to check out the other cave that's here first.
Yeah, that's understandable. And yeah, I think given the way that the map has laid out so far, I think it is countable. Just it may take a little bit of maneuvering and finagling, but it shouldn't be too bad.
Nah, that should be eminently countable. I don't know. I think they're swamp in that general vicinity, I think, over there. So I think it's probably going to be in one of those swamps near Pantagil, I think.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Oh, look, and here's the other major chest-containing cave. This is the Grave of Garen. Another 5 chests in here. So all 10 dungeon chests are right here around the town of Cantlin. Which is a little unfortunate. Now, it does look like JanusZeal is starting to head back in this general vicinity, so it doesn't look like Janus is going to discover this area too long behind Slamu. But all 10 chests are in this exact area, so if we don't have anything here, then we're going to be looking in the overworld search spots and the other search spots here. Hawksness and coal.
Indeed. We are getting resolution on that quarter fairly quickly, and we're getting a missed Hurtmore on an armored knight, which can't feel good.
The Big Slamu does take down said armored knight, gets the 172 experience, and is closing in on level 12. Meanwhile, we do have Janus eyeing up what we know to be the town of Cantlin. They haven't seen it yet, though. And now they have.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be happy to be able to pillage the shops and see what's available, and pretty much do exactly what Slamu did a few minutes ago. Check out both those caves, find that key, and start essentially escalating from there.
Now, it'll be interesting to see what order Janus does this in, because it did look like there may have been keys on the top floor of the grave as well. That was either a key or an herb in that empty chest. So it's a 50-50 shot. Slamu does get level 12, 11 power, 2 agility, no hit points, and 2 MP. And we have no more spells to learn, so we can't be expecting any. All right, so there is the second cursed bell to the seed. So that means that right now, Slamu knows that of Cole, Hawksness, and the Overworld, he knows the Overworld. Overworld search spots has something, and then at least either Cole or Hawksness has something. They both still could, because there still might be another cursed belt out there. But we have seen 2 cursed belts already.
So do you think in the back of some part of Slamu's head, he's thinking, please don't let it be that golem tile. Please don't let it be that golem tile.
I don't even think it's that far in the back of his head.
Fair enough.
Because if we think about it, right, if this chest here at the bottom of the grave is a zonk, right, what do we have left? We have the chest in Rimmeldar. We have the 3 chests in Garenham. Then what? What else haven't we seen? That's it. Oh, there's the armor. Okay, so that helps. That helps big. But the chances are starting to look pretty darn good that underneath that golem is something of importance.
It would be ironic if the golem was guarding his own flute, wouldn't it?
We've seen that happen plenty of times.
I'm sure you have.
All right, so let's see what Slamu does here. Me personally, I would be casting Return and getting my butt back to the treasury. Oh, I forgot about the Tangential Treasury. Whoops. But that's what I would be doing, is casting Return and getting back to the Tangential Treasury to see what are in those 4 chests.
Yeah, that's true. I think I can understand Slamu doing what he's doing right now, though. Continuing that exploration, making sure that he's not missing anything, because you mentioned we still need to find Cole, and that obviously that search spot can be important. So going ahead and doing the exploration, I could really understand either tack at this point, I think. Well, I was going to say, Z-Man, if you're able to win races in tournaments without checking a treasury, I salute you. And we'll see what that treasury holds now on Janus's side.
I distinctly remember leaving Nest Cardinality and Spark over absolutely speechless here. You know, when I did that, and they asked me about it, and I'm like, what? I did? Oh, there's the Death Necklace. Death Necklace in the home treasury, and 2 gold chests. So gold grind activated.
Meanwhile, looks like Slamu has found, I believe, Tablet Cave, if I'm remembering correctly.
This does indeed look to be Tablet Cave. He's on the 2nd floor, so we're going to find out what's down here in a second. There are the stones. So what's still out there? We're still looking for the sword. We're still looking for the harp. We're still looking for the fairy flute. Nope, and this is, what town is this? This is the town of Cole. Let's see, is there anything here in the search spot? There's the sword.
Well, there you go.
So now we know that there's only 2 things left to find. The fairy flute and the silver harp. One of them will be in Hawksness, and the other one will be on the Overworld. Well, actually, no. One of them doesn't have to be in Hawksness, because we've only seen 2 belts. So I guess one of them could be in Garenham, because we have not yet seen the 3 in Garenham.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I actually was about to ask what Slamu was looking for now, but there is your answer, is looking for Garenham.
Our tracker monstrous slime bringing up the possibility that maybe it's time to go hack at that golem, and with 100 attack power, it'd go down slow, but it'd go down.
Indeed, it would.
Yeah, especially with the spell of Heal More. I mean, it would go down eventually.
Yeah, it's pretty much the dictionary definition of a slow grind, but it is certainly a grind, and of course access to that search spot too.
So while Janus was back in Tantagel, did they check the cave underneath Tantagel?
I would tend to say no. I don't believe so.
Wait, we haven't seen either end of swamp.
We have
and
not.
We've seen the jerk. But I don't think we've seen the Silver Harp trade-in cave for the Staff of Rain. So it's possible that Tantagel could backdoor into Garanham. And then, that could very well be a possibility here.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess what it looks like what Slamu is doing is going ahead and making sure, trying to find Garanham, not wanting to rely on the idea that it is a back door, because, of course, we don't know whether it will be or not.
All right, and Brian Williams is asking really the pertinent question here. What is in the swamp grind tile? Because we know that the golem, not really an overly great idea. At least yet that we've seen.
No, that's definitely not your first choice if you're talking about trying to grind.
Although that said, if the golem happens to wake up with, stop spell or hurt, or even baby's breath, then it becomes quite the appealing grind.
That is true, yes. I don't think we really got to see much of a chance what that golem could do, because as early as both runners found it, they rather wisely noped out.
Okay, so we do have Janus picking up the magic armor here, and I think then they will go ahead and pick up the flame sword, which is in the first shop, I think. All right, we do have Slamu casting return and doing a count. And there's the harp.
And we do know where the jerk is, so once we're able to find that turn-in cave for the Staff of Rain, that's essentially that.
Yep, that golem is not needed. We do know it is the fairy flute, but that golem can guard that fairy flute all he wants. Slamu is... he's like, hey, do I want the treasury? No, I don't. Yes, I do. And he'll actually be very happy to see the treasury, because this could very well be a Death Necklace seed. And we are certainly trending in that general direction. But I'm pretty sure Slamu knows at this point that chances are it is swamp cave under here that is leading to either the continent that Garanham is on, and then Garanham has the Silver Harp trade-in cave, or it's going to backdoor into Garanham, and then the turn-in cave will be somewhere around Garanham.
Yeah, that's really about... I would say that's about all we really can figure at this point.
So it'll be interesting to see which swamp entrance this is, if it is one. It is Swamp South. So he's gonna walk through. He's gonna check out. I bet you he's gonna check out this trap tile here, and see what is here. See if it's grindable.
No, I wouldn't blame him at all, especially considering that it is straight in from the castle. He refilled on keys, so there's no problem getting back to it. So would you like a flavor of Golem, or would you like the other flavor of Golem tonight for your grind?
Ugh, God, this is terrible. Oh. Boy, yeah. I absolutely despise Stoneman grinds. personally, I just hate them. They're not worth a lot of experience, and they're oftentimes more trouble than they're worth.
So, what do you think the runners do then? Do you think they try that golem in Hawksness, or do you think they do what Slamu was doing earlier, go back to the Breckenary Sharlock zone?
I think the first thing I would do is check out the first floor of Sherlock and see if there's a bunch of hurt, mortal enemies there. Because Sherlock isn't that far from the castle. It's not that far from Breckenary. I would try maybe a castle level 1, get some more strength, then maybe chip away at golems, or maybe chip away at the stonemen. But the first thing I would do is I would take a look at the first floor of Sherlock and see if there's anything worth grinding there.
Yeah, that's fair.
The encounter rate is a little lower, but I think that would be made up for with how quickly you can hurt more things. And look, I forgot about Rimmildar. Here's Rimmildar.
Oh, look, keys.
Because
we haven't found any yet. Har. Yeah, poor Rimmildar, though. Yeah, we totally forgot about it. Sorry, Rimmildar. We won't forget next time.
The classic 2-for-1 deal. Use 2 keys, get 1 free. Wait, what?
A very compelling offer, I must say.
And there's Garanham.
Alrighty, so all the puzzle pieces essentially have come together, I think, for Slamu. Meanwhile, Janus is heading and picking up chests themselves, and hopefully will be soon on this track as well.
Yep, looks like Janus is slowly closing in on the bottom of the grave where we know Erdrick's armor to be. Free key in the back of Garanham.
See, the folks in Garanham are much nicer than the folks in Rimmildar. In Rimmildar, you have to pay 2 keys for your 1. In Garanham, they just say, okay, well, I guess sell 1, get 1 free.
All right, so Big Slamu does turn his silver harp into a staff of rain, and we'll go trade it in, and very shortly, Big Slamu is going to be in true grind and go mode. The question is, where is Slamu going to grind?
Well, I guess we'll all find out together. Given what he's seen in both of those slots, though, I am curious to see what the answer is going to be myself.
JanusZeal getting out of the grave with Erdrick's armor. Looks like he's going to take a look at the inn here, and then has he finished Mountain Cave yet? Question mark? Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. We'll figure it out. Looks like yes, he has, and they have. And JanusZeal is now going to do some exploration. And if they keep going along this path, they will eventually find the sword and everything else they need to find.
Meanwhile, Slamu hit level 13, got 1 strength, 12 agility, and 22 HP, along with 10 MP. So it gets definitely the agility and that HP into the vaunted green levels, but we've still got some work to do elsewise.
It looks like Slamu is going to take on that golem. So I can't necessarily say as I blame him, because the golems do offer 255 experience, which is max experience. And with this HP level and with Breckenary so close, I think this is going to be a just fine choice of grind, I think.
Yeah, as chat was mentioning earlier, Brian Williams to be precise, the Stone Men would be a good grind with this strength, but the Golems might not be too bad either.
Let's see if the golem wakes up with any, a sleep, a breath, any type of spell, or is golem just going to sit here and cast punch more?
It looks like we have a very physical golem today, so obviously going to take its toll health-wise, so we might see a switch in strategy, or perhaps not.
Well, now with that fairy flute, maybe this becomes a lot quicker for Slamu, because he can toot the golems to sleep, and then, hope if he gets good sleep luck and just wreck wreck the stone on them. All right, Janus finding their stones. And right here, we'll find Cole and Erdrick's sword. Upgrading the hand axe to the broadsword, and very shortly we'll upgrade the broadsword to Erdrick's sword.
Oh, whoops. Has to feel, well, maybe not so bad because it's not a huge loss of money, but still, has to feel a little bad. I think Janus initially was checking to try to find that silver shield because there's plenty of money in the coffers for it.
And now Janus is going to keep on doing some exploration. Maybe this is just a one-continent map. We're not sure about that yet. All right, so this is the time now where we start taking a look at experience point gap here. Because Janus just needs to find their harp and then do their homework and trade stuff in. Of course, we know that the harp is on the overworld, but right now the experience gap is about 1,500, give or take. And I would imagine since Big Slamu is on a dedicated grind, that experience gap is just going to widen. So Janus right now is kind of up against it.
Yeah, Janus has done a pretty decent job in terms of at least exploration, trying to keep pace, but the XP gap, as you mentioned, is just getting bigger, unfortunately. I think those early issues that Janus was having with RNG from a lot of the monsters and the travails that they were put up against is just sort of snowballed a little bit. No fault to Janus, obviously. It's just how it's gone. It's just how everything is sussed out this time.
Okay. Breckonary's right there. 149 HP. If I'm Slamu, I seriously consider slapping that death necklace on to grind these golems. It'll just make the fight go all that much quicker. You'll still get, 3 or so swings in for every Hurtmore. That 10 attack power, I think, is worth more than that HP is right now. If I'm Slamu, I seriously consider slapping that death necklace on right now.
That's definitely an interesting point, because, yeah, you don't have to worry about the castle because you do have a town right next door, so I could definitely see that.
But Janus keeps finding rather big experience enemies here. It looks like Janus is going to take out a blue dragon here for that coveted 180 experience. Meanwhile, Slamu just keeps wrecking golems. Janus does get to level 13. Yeah, and kind of thinking back on the race a little bit, if Janus didn't know this ahead of time, but if there was one kind of misstep, I suppose, that may have separated things, aside from poor RNG for Janus to start, early on, when Janus was starting to explore east of Tantagel Castle and hit the eastern side of the map, there was a fork. And I do believe Janus took the wrong fork and died on that fork, whereas if they took the correct fork, they would have been in the Cantlin cave area, well ahead of Slamu. So I think that kind of set Janus back a little bit, because after that, then they went to explore, around Charlock and Breckenary. So I think combining that with, I think most of this, unfortunately, while Slamu has played very well, I think Janus did get quite a bit unlucky at points.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good diagnosis, I think. It's when you're looking at a race between such runners as these, and both Slamu and Janus won their first week matches, if I remember correctly. They definitely have talent. They definitely know what they're doing. It just comes down to, like you mentioned, going through the map in different directions and finding different things at times, and that is one of the many things that can swing that balance.
And unfortunately, a lot of times when it comes to high-level runners like Slamu and like Janus, sometimes, one death in the wrong spot, like what Janus took earlier, can sometimes be the difference in the race. Slamu didn't have that problem, found Cantlin, found the caves around Cantlin, and off he went. Yeah, and Brian Williams in chat echoing what we were saying, that Janus has played this race pretty gosh darn well. Just a couple of little things here and there, kind of, unfortunately, as you said, Karan, they did snowball, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. It's how randomizers work in large part, but I mean, main reason I say it is just because if anybody, because I am fairly new to the randomizer myself, and it's good to see all the strategy that we see here, but it is also unfortunate to see just kind of how RNG can influence things, and that's how I feel it's gone. It's not been any bad decisions per se, it's just been how a lot of things have rolled. So, yeah, as Brian pointing out in chat, Janus still has that gold, so is definitely playing well, just unfortunately hasn't really found anywhere to spend it on that silver shield.
Might now, though. Big Samu did not check out the shops at Rimuldar or at Garenham, and it looks like Janus is headed to, they are headed toward the Swamp Cave, which we know Rimuldar and Garenham are on the other side.
Yeah, so that will essentially, that'll complete things as far as exploration, I believe, or for the most part. Oh yeah, I was about to say, wait, what is Janus doing? Outsiding to make it quicker. I keep forgetting that that's a thing.
Right. If you go in Swamp South, you can outside to Swamp North, because outside always takes you to the northern entrance.
Okay, so that answered the question I was about to ask, so thank you.
Of course.
Unfortunately, Janus about to find the 2-for-1 upsell, I guess, in Rimuldar.
It's kind of a downsell. If you have to use 2 keys, you only get 1.
Well, it's certainly an upsell for the key vendors, I suppose.
Yeah, good point. And no silver shield there, so unless there's a silver shield in Garenham, which Janus should stumble on shortly, there may not be a silver shield in this seed.
I certainly don't remember seeing one myself, but then again, like you said, Garenham could very well be the answer to our silver shield woes, as it were.
Meanwhile, we do have Slamu closing in on level 15.
think that should be in probably one more golem after this one, I would assume.
Yep, one more golem. 7,500. A little to the north and east, and Janus will go into Garanham. The unfortunate thing is Janus has not yet picked up the Silver Harp. So they're going to have to make a return trip here once they get the Silver Harp off of the overworld spot. And there is no Silver Shield to be had in this seed. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, that really is rough, especially since Janus went through such an extensive gold grind. Granted, it doesn't take long on its own, but when you have all that money and nothing to spend it on, it feels bad.
And Brian Williams and Zarnax are in heaven with that level. 4-2, 4-2.
Well, glad to see our community members could be represented in such a tangible way.
This level brought to you by the Meaning of Life. Grab your towel, please.
Brian mentioning a great level, but also a bad level. A great level for y'all, a bad level for the runners, I suppose.
Alright, so Janus approaching the Silver Harp. But unfortunately, Janus is also approaching a 3,200 experience point gap.
Yeah, I think the time that Janus is having to make up in terms of having lost that exploration is really coming back to haunt them, with Slamu being able to essentially park on the golem and, well, very flute it to death, basically.
I think Janus, is off 1 or 2 too far to the north. I think Janus needs to go another south, I think? Wrong south. I think. Nope, gonna recount. Good news is this isn't too difficult of a count. So they're not going to waste a ton of time recounting this.
Yeah, that is a good thing that it is 16 and 27. So yeah, it's one of those that I think can be fairly easily done, and I think Janus is on the way to getting it taken care of now.
There we go.
Yep, so like you said, one space too far north.
Now they will turn in the harp for the Staff of Rain on the other continent, come back to the home continent, turn in everything for the Rainbow Drop, and then head off to wherever they decide to grind. This golem grind is working out pretty gosh darn well for Big Slamu. So, for those of you who are very familiar with the Dragon Warrior Randomizer and familiar with all of our tournaments here, my co-commentator tonight, Karant, is a new face to the community. This is his first time commentating a Dragon Warrior Randomizer race, so while Janus is doing their homework, and while Slamu is doing some grinding here, Karant, why don't you take a couple of minutes and introduce yourself to the community here and, kind of tell your background in randomizers and that type of thing while we've got some time here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Yes, this is my first time commenting on a Dragon Warrior Randomizer race, so thank you all for having me. I very much appreciate it. I got my start at the beginning of last year in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. Started doing commentary for them during their spring tournament last year. Then moved over to Free Enterprise and did a little commentary for them during the Zenith Zone 3 tournament. Then did Worlds Collide and did some stuff for them in December. So I'm sort of all over the place a little bit, but I very much enjoy it, and I am definitely grateful for any opportunities to be able to work with folks. I will also to toss the praise over. I appreciate Z. Thank you for joining me for my first opportunity, and I'm glad that you have been so welcoming, and everybody, including Gambit, who I already knew from the Free Enterprise community. So thank you all for having me. I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. As I had mentioned to you before we went live, we're always looking for great new people to add to the community. I think our community here in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer is one of the best out there. I mean, we're very welcoming, we're very helpful. We're competitive with each other, sure, but there really isn't much any in the way of any toxic competitiveness. We're all very helpful. We all want to see everybody do fantastically. So I think it's a fantastic community to be a part of, and we always welcome people who are willing to learn and willing to commentate and help out behind the scenes. We really love it.
I definitely will say I've learned a fair bit from watching these tournaments, and whether it was this tournament or one or two of them that I've seen in the past. And I had been kind of flirting with the idea of joining the community for about a year. Finally took the step yesterday, actually. So I appreciate the opportunity, and I definitely have a lot to learn, I think, about the randomizer, and certainly stuff like the zone question I was asking earlier and things like defense breaking. I've got some stuff to learn on that front, but I have found the community so far. You guys do a good job of explaining things, especially some of the more obscure moving parts, as it were. So that is definitely welcome to somebody like me who is still fairly new.
And we do have Slamu getting level 16, which was a 9228 strength. Still not there yet, even with the death necklace equipped. Which, for those of you unfamiliar, the death necklace in the vanilla game does, well, nothing. It curses you. So what we decided to do in the randomizer is we're like, all right, we're going to give you 10 extra attack power, but it's going to cost 25% of your HP. So Slamu has more than enough HP to sustain that 25% hit, but his attack power is still not where it needs to be for the Dragon Lord. Typically, everything else being equal, a good benchmark attack range, a good benchmark AP attack power is 130. That's usually, from the vast majority of seeds, that is the minimum we would consider quote-unquote acceptable to take on the Dragon Lord. Can it be done lower? Sure, of course it can, but that depends on other stats. But with the stats we're seeing right now, attack power just isn't there because we only have 10 heal mores. And right now, our damage would be in the 4 to 9 range. If we add on a death necklace, then it would be 7 to 14. Either way, you're still talking, 15-ish swings. And, well, you only have 8 heal mores. So you need quite a bit more of either strength or MP in order to consider taking on the Dragon Lord at this point.
Yeah, that's definitely a tall ask right now, I think. And Slamu knows it too, pushing toward that level 17, which will be coming in, if I'm doing my math right, about 1500 XP, so that's 6 golems? I know we're not supposed to do math on stream, but I think that's right.
Yeah, my brain is non-functional right at this moment for that big math. Oh yeah, Wizzy, absolutely. There would be doubles with 155 HP, absolutely. But the problem is, once you get past about 130, 135 HP, all the HP above and beyond that doesn't really matter because you're not going to get back there. Because remember, Heal More can only do a max heal of 100. And typically speaking, most everybody will heal at what, 47 HP max. So at best, you're talking about 100 heal off of that. So they're going to get doubles, but probably not enough doubles to overcome that big of a gap between the necessary swings and the heal mores that they have.
Yeah, I feel like the 9 heal mores right now is the biggest hindrance. If you've got enough MP, I think for 11 at that HP, you go ahead and go for it, and then Death Necklace the fight and go from there. But at this point, it's just not quite there. It's getting there, it's close, but not close enough at the moment.
And it looks like Janus has joined Slamu in grinding golems here. Of course, the only difference is, unfortunately, Janus is behind roughly 5,500 experience, or what, about 20 golem difference. So that's quite the mountain to overcome here. And Janus does get to level 14 with that wonderful HP gain.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Slamu and Janus right now are probably having, or at least had, the same conversations in their heads, just a little bit distant from each other, as far as the strength and what have you. And Mr. Slime mentioning in chat that Janus, I don't think has searched that search spot yet, so does not have the flute to help with this grind.
Yeah, I can't really blame Janus at this point, because I'm sure all that they're thinking is, I need experience, I need to grind. Probably hasn't even entered their mind to even search the spot that the fairy flute could even be there. And it looks like Janus is using this opportunity to nope out and go get some refills. It looks like Slamu is 2 this golem and 1 more away from level 17, I think.
Yep, I believe so.
Alright, let's see if level 17 gets Slamu any closer to being able to finish this race.
I have to admit, I'm kind of waiting with bated breath to see what comes out of this one.
And here we go. Six, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, this is close. It's close, but probably not yet. I don't think the MP is there yet. I think you need a couple more heal mores.
Yeah, because Death Necklace brings it up to, what, 9 to 17 at this point, so average of 13. Yeah, that's still... Oh, that's 13. That's 13 hits at the, kind of average. That, yeah, it's still looking a little rough.
Yeah, so, 13 hits on average, right? So, assuming RNG does normal things, with only 10 heal mores, are you gonna get 3 doubles with the Death Necklace? That's sketchy. That's real sketchy. Plus, we don't know how bad Sharlock is. I think we've only seen 1 red dragon. So we don't know what Sharlock holds. The good news is that I don't think any of the Sharlock enemies we've seen up to this point really haven't been too jerkish. But then again, like I said, we really haven't seen much of red dragons.
No, we haven't, actually, now that you mention it.
Oh, Slamu is looking like he's going to go for it.
Yeah, when he was looking at his items earlier, I'm thinking, oh, is this going to be the moment? And it turns out, looks like it is.
Interesting. So here's my thought on this. So if he's attacking everything, he's thinking that he's going to get level 18 on the dive down. He's not going to be repelling anything at 79 defense power. But here's the thing. You have the HP and the strength with the Death Necklace to beat the Dragon Lord. What you're missing, in my opinion, is the MP. You don't get the MP from a level unless you go to an inn. So to me, this dive doesn't make, unless you get a ton of strength here, and I'm talking like a significant amount of strength, like 10 or 15, the MP is worth more than any incremental strength gain would be. Because all you need is one more MP to get to that 11th heal more. And all of a sudden, one more MP makes, at the very least, the Dragon Lord a 50-50 shot. Because with the Death Necklace, you'd need 13 attacks on 11 heal mores. Absolutely doable. So, this is... I don't know about this.
Well, I think what you were mentioning, I think is right, and what chat was mentioning, I think is right, is I think that Slamu is counting on getting 18 on the way down. But, of course, it's just going to be a crapshoot. We don't know the numbers, and we won't see them until Slamu hits that in, I believe, approximately 1,000 experience at this point.
Now, this is kind of sort of what Janus needs to come back. Right? They need this iffy level here so that Janus can take the time, do a dedicated grind while Slamu is doing a dive or 2 or 3. So this could give Janus the opportunity they need to claw their way back into this race.
Well, I was going to say, I know the community calls Sharlock the Great Equalizer. It's just not quite an equalizer in the way that we might have imagined, I suppose.
Alright, so Slamu closing that gap to about 800 experience now. 14,250 is the next point of demarcation.
So I guess the question that I have right now is, given the dive that we're seeing, I presume Slamu feels behind, and maybe is the reason why he's taking this dive on the numbers that he is.
That's about the only... That's the only thing that I can kind of come up with, is that Slamu does feel significantly behind at this point, and feels as though he needs to do this dive right now in order to win. Because again, unless there's a significant strength increase here, I mean, MP is going to be the big problem.
I guess the good news on that front is, well, Slamu has found the golems again, and they are trying to find him. But that's getting him awfully close to that level. So we've got probably... I think it actually is one more golem by 1 XP to
One
make
more
that
golem.
level.
One more golem. Or one more Axe Knight. And also, Slamu is getting dangerously low on herbs, so, you know, some unfortunate luck here can really... if Slamu has to kill a Healmore here, unless there's a significant strength gain, Slamu is not going to be in a position to win if they have to burn a Healmore.
Yeah, it's getting some good run luck, but is also getting a lot of enemies coming at them, or coming at him right now. And oh dear, and the trap tile, the spike tile, is a red dragon, so that's no fun.
That is the worst trap tile you could see if you're Slamo. Because chance... Oh, Akaish! No, it takes out the red dragon and negates the need for a Healmore. 10 power, okay. That was a very well-timed crit.
Yes, it was. And it was also pretty well-timed on that 10 power because that level had not much else.
I did have the 8 MP, though, which does get that 11th Healmore. But now I think... he's not going to run with the Death Necklace. He's going to go for... Oh, wait. Yes, he is. He decided against it, and he has put the Death Necklace on. All right, here we go. 15. 35. 51. 69.
Nice.
80. 95. 112. 112. 129. So the Dragon Lord is dead to a mismenu here. Slamu will win this fight unless he mismenus. There it is. 3 Healmores to spare.
And here we were worried about MP. So GG's to Big Slamu, who is coming around the stretch, going to go talk to the king. And we'll be finishing this with an official time of 1 hour, 18 minutes flat.
Everybody get your GGs out. Slamu, with a wonderful race, will move to 2-0 in the Swiss portion of the tournament. GGs to Big Slamu.
Absolutely, GG's, and Slamu is in the waiting room, so we shall pull him in momentarily.
And with that ding, we do have Big Slamu joining us here in the commentators booth. Big Slamu, GG, my friend, well done.
Thank you. That was a grind at the end there, but it worked out.
Yes, it most certainly did. You actually ran a pretty darn clean seed here. What were your thoughts on this seed?
I think my favorite part was we got hurt more at 2, and I was at 16 experience, and I found the Rogue Scorpion, and I hurt more. I'm like, oh, a triple level. This is going to be great. First at 1 power.
Yeah, that strength was a bit of a pain, I think, for a good chunk of the seed for y'all.
Yeah, 3, 4, and 5, 1 power. That was amazing. I loved it.
Oh, and it looks like Janus here is taking a dive into Sharlock and has loaded up with Fairy Water. It looks like Janus is going to try for Fairy Water strats here.
What level is he going on?
16.
Ugh. I don't think 16 is good. 17, I think, was good with the Death Necklace, but
we actually
on my way down, I figured I'd save.
Yeah, well, we were really concerned about level 17 because for the math we had done, you would need about 13 swings and you only had 10 heal mores. So with the Death Necklace, so we were worried about you going on 17, and then the 10, strength from 17 to 18 kind of made that a no-brainer then. But we were So what were your thoughts there running at that level? I mean, were you concerned at all?
I mean, I was definitely concerned. I feel like you get 2 in the front and you get 2 in the back, right? Because you start, as long as you don't get back attacked, right, you've got the opening and the closing double. I either needed one of those to turn into a triple or another double at 120 HP, and I figured it was possible. I don't know. I mean, I was sitting there thinking about it as I fought that extra golem in Hawksness, and ultimately decided, even though I felt like I had run a really clean race, the thing that was sitting in the back of my head was the fact that I apparently couldn't 6-shot a golem and ended up dying to him on my grind, and I thought those 3 minutes that I lost there was enough to make it close.
Speaking of that, any thoughts as to maybe putting on the Death Necklace to grind those golems?
I thought about it. At the end of the day, yeah, it cuts the number of swings, but until you can basically kill a golem without having to heal more mid-fight, I think the Fairy Flute is faster regardless. I mean, and I played a lot of Fairy Flute this seed. I mean, that was, 7,500 all the way up to 1,400 XP?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, you basically had to go about 7,000, I think, experience.
Yeah, and I thought I did a really good job of getting XP as I walked around and got things checked off. A turning point for me was I had just gotten out of coal. I was heading back north before I ultimately returned, and I saw 2 blue dragons back to back. I ran from the first one, and I sat there. I'm like, why am I running from blue dragons? So I fought the next one and 2-shot him, and at that point I probably left 500 XP on the ground on the walkabout, but not a ton.
Yeah, but I think you had mentioned it. You played a really clean seed. Like, for the most part, you made pretty much every right decision out there that you could. You played it really well, and you're now 2-0 in the Swiss portion here. So that's 2-0 is a fantastic record, and you've beaten 2 pretty solid opponents here.
Yeah, both of these guys. I mean, both of these runners are phenomenal, and hats off to both of them. I'm excited to see what they do in the rest of this thing. Regai and Janus, I think they both have the capability to go far. I'm glad I won, but honestly, I think either one of them could have just as easily taken it.
No, and as we alluded to in the beginning of the race, I mean, this was a rematch from the Winter League. I think it was the quarterfinal, right? That you and Janus met in the Winter League quarterfinals, I think?
Yeah, he mentioned that. I had honestly completely blocked that from my memory because I think that was the permanent repel Erdrick's Armor Seed, right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one, ever.
I was going to say, Slammy, you may not know, but I'm extremely new to the community, as in I joined yesterday. But that just sounds bad. Oh, I can't imagine that, and I'm not all that really familiar with DWR and all of its intricacies, but I am sorry. I apologize for that. Just in, I guess, 9 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, I made it there, right? And I snuck out, but yeah, that was 3 hours that I would like of my life back. Good luck to Janus here. It looks like he's jumping into the Dragon Lord fight.
He is indeed. Does put on the death necklace here. So this is going to be interesting. This is all going to be predicated on how well do these fairy waters hit the Dragon Lord. If he high rolls a bunch of these fairy waters, he's got a good chance.
Is this 128? Is that the AP right now?
Yep, that is his current AP.
All right, I didn't know if he was on the same build as me or not. It's gonna take a lot right here.
Oh, and the back attack doesn't do him any favors, but he does start with a 13. Up to 22. $31. $45. $59. And this last fairy water brings him up to 71. So he's about halfway there.
That's one less than what you'd expect out of it. But he's still got 8 swings to go, maybe 7 if he's lucky. And there's only 4 Healmores.
78, he's in trouble. $91.
Time to throw the Hurtmores, Janus. Let's go. You got it.
101. It's the double. 109. All right, I think we're in a YOLO Hurtmore time.
2 Hurtmores right here. I believe in you, Janus.
119. $127. 138 and dead.
That's about where I kind of figured. That's a little under where I figured. I figured honestly he was about 5% to get it there. And that's if he gets 14 swings.
Yeah, and after that, unfortunately, Janus has forfeited from the race, which makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. GG to Janus. Well-run race. Just unfortunate at the end that it didn't work out.
Yeah, I can't help but notice there's no fairy flute on his side. Did he never Hawksness?
He ground in the golems and Hawksness. He just never searched the tile.
Huh. I mean, it saved him an inventory slot for the fairy water.
Yeah, it did, but I think he felt behind at that point and probably didn't. Never even crossed his mind to search the spot since he had everything he needed, and he probably felt pretty behind. He experienced some really bad RNG at the beginning of the seed. Like he had 10 or 11 deaths within the first 10 minutes. So he was never really able to get that experience foothold that he needed to really open up his exploration. And then unfortunately, one of his final deaths was northeast of the castle, but at that split where if you go one way, it was a dead end, but if you go the other way, you would have found Catelyn in the caves. He went the wrong way, died up there, and then proceeded to search back west of the castle. So, you know, he definitely got a bit unlucky at the beginning of the race. And you played a damn near perfect seed.
Yeah, that was one thing. I knew I was going to die a fair amount early, and honestly, I wanted to die with only eight MP. But what I made sure to do is, after every death, whatever direction was the closest to uncovering new territory, I made sure to walk that way. So it kind of looked, on your guys' side, it might have looked a little haphazard, right? I'm going east once, and then I'm going west, and then I'm going south, and then I'm going northeast. But I try to draw my map as to scale as possible so that I can quickly look down and say, oh, west looks like it's only 3 screens away, whereas I've already gone 5 screens east. Let's go west this time and see if there's anything that way. So process of elimination, I mean, at the end of the day, this thing could have been 10 minutes faster if I had gone east than north, but just kind of searching as efficiently as I can, covering as many of the 128 tiles in each direction as I can on every life is the goal.
I think that's pretty darn good philosophy there, one that certainly serves you well in the majority of races.
Yeah, and honestly, it's fun to get back into this. The whole daylight savings time thing throws me off because everybody wants to race long before my day winds down to the point where I can jump on a computer. So it's nice to get back into this. I'm excited for the remainder. And honestly, I love the fact that these tournaments are put on and the amount of work that goes into this. I don't envy you guys as restreamers and trackers and commentary teams and the admins. You guys do a ton of phenomenal work, and I just want to thank you guys for that for sure.
Well, definitely, we appreciate you guys running. So thank you, Slamu, and also thank you to Janus, who unfortunately isn't able to join us for an interview tonight. But GG to Janus, they did a great race, and unfortunately just ran afoul of bad RNG at the beginning and end. But definitely thank you for entertaining us this evening. We very much enjoyed it.
I do my best. Thank you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think with that, we have another fantastic race going on here between Centroid 41 and up to NG over on Randomania Prime. So I think we're going to throw it there. And again, we do want to thank our behind-the-scenes crew here. We thank Gambit017 for the restream. Thank Monsieur Salam for the tracking. Make sure you pop them a follow, as well as my co-commentator here, Karant. And please make sure you do pop the runners a follow. Big __Slamu and JanusZeal. So I think with that, Karant, any final comments before we throw it over to Randomania Prime here for the last race of the evening?
Well, again, just thank you to both of the runners for entertaining us tonight. And thank you, Z-Man and Mr. Slime and Gambit for being the rest of the Restream crew tonight. You guys made my first commentary for Dragon Warrior Randomizer a fun one, so I very much appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing Centroid and Up to NG entertain us even further into the night.
Absolutely. So we're going to meet you all over on Randomania Prime. So have a great night, and they will go over tomorrow's schedule at the end of that race. So everybody have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you over on Randomania Prime.